Mm. The ancient Slavic tribes arrived to settle on the plain, along the Pripyat and the Dnieper rivers' vast domain. The Kievan Rus expanded north and brought the region light, establishing the Polotsk state with independent might. The Mongol horde swept through the south, destroying towns with dread. But Polak stood against the storm as leaders boldly led. The Grand Duchy of Lithuania absorbed the fertile land, uniting Slavic culture with a powerful command. The Union of Lublin arrived, a major legal bound, creating the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth on the ground. The Russian Empire pushed its path across the eastern line and seized the territory tied through partition design. Across the local space, suppressing old traditions to control the native race. The railway lines were laid to connect the growing town as industries began to rise beneath the Russian crown. The First World War brought heavy boots and devastating grief as German forces occupied the land without relief. In 1918, independence made a start. The Belarusian Democratic Republic claimed its part, but Soviet armies marched to take control of every street and forced the Belarusian state to suffer a defeat. They formed the Soviet Republic on the eastern floor, while Poland took the western half across the border door. The tragic Second World War brought devastation and decay as Nazi forces occupied engaging in the fiercest battles Europe had yet seen. The nation lost a third of all its people to the fight before the Soviet Red Army broke the fascist might. The post-war years brought factory smokestacks rising to the sky as Minsk rebuilt its avenues and structures broad and high. The nuclear reactor failed at Chernobyl's distant side and sent a cloud of toxic dust across the silent night. The southern lands absorbed the waste and suffered deep despair, with radiation poisoning the water and the air. The Soviet Union cracked and fell away from central power, and independence came to light within the historic hour. In 1994, a system shift occurred. Alexander Lukashenko won the vote. His voters stirred. He turned the government back toward the old Soviet style, pretending state monopolies across each factory mile. The currency was stabilized through links with Russian trade, while democratic movements faced a harsh and heavy blade. A Union State agreement linked the nations tight and close as Western isolation and economic sanctions arose. The modern nation stands between the European line and Russian influence that shapes political design.